Good morning. This is Sunday, March the 15th, 7:24 a.m. I am on my way to my first visit, dog walk, and this morning or late last night, somebody broke into my trailer, trespassed on my landlord's property, and then came into my property, my trailer, and my trailer was locked and my camera was not on. I forgot to turn on my camera. And they lifted my camera up out of its normal position. And I didn't notice anything else out of place in my trailer. But somebody did enter my trailer last night whenever I was sleeping. And the pedos, they mess with technology and do a sleep, so I didn't wake up. And when I had a baby, I woke up at any sound he made. I would wake up, and then I would wake up to nurse him. He would wake me up whenever he wanted to be nursed. And so I would wake up and nurse him. And so they are definitely abusing technology to put me in a sleep. And they've done this before, and then they'll do a break-in. And so they did this either last night or this morning, and it was a while ago. It was a while ago. I had a lock rekeyed, and then I had another lock put on the bottom. And the pedos, I think had another key made whenever I accidentally left my key in the door for an amount of time, and then I noticed after a while that my key was still in the door. And so I think that they took it out, made a key, and then brought it back. And then they were getting in, they were trespassing. And I got this camera, well, I got two cameras. And whenever they're on, they do not come in. Whenever the camera is on, they do not come in. And I accidentally left it off, and I watched a video of a pedo getting arrested last night on Predator Poachers, and may have made him mad, because there's been other nights that I have left my camera off and nobody came into my trailer. So yeah, they were mad at me, and they oozed the heavy radioactive poison into my saliva glands. It's a very, very heavy radioactive poison, and they were shooting my head in small areas on my left temple. I noticed mainly this morning, and I was wearing my lead cap, and it still hurt. And so they could be taking a device. They have nurses that work for them. They have a nurse that works for them, Mindy Wiggins, and then Blossom Schaefer is the wife of Randy Schaefer, who is the COO of West Texas Consultants. And she has a nurse background, and she does travel nursing around the in the area. She gets in her vehicle and goes to homes. So, and does the nursing that way. So, anyway, and I know that Pam Schaus's daughter, she went to nursing school. I think she graduated. If not, she's still there. And so, and then Angel Lovato, she was a nurse. And she worked for Chad Tompkins, and then her husband, he worked for Waste Control. And so, and then there's Edward Saldivar's nephew, who's also a nurse in San Angelo, and he has he was a nurse in Andrews. I don't know what he does now. And then his wife's also a nurse, or was a nurse. They both have nursing backgrounds. And then, his other nephew has a military background, was former Marines. And so the pedos are injecting a lot of deception, they are lying a lot, and they always lie, but they hate the spirit of the truth. And so they want me to hear lies all the time, and they steal my family and friends' voices and inject faces. So they've been shooting my head. They've been oozing this poison this morning. There was a break-in last night or this morning, and then they were harassing me, trying to get me upset, and they were shooting my chest also. Whenever I would move clothes or push on anything or lift, I lifted my tailgate up, and then I pushed some clothes, and they shot my chest. So they've been against my movements, and they are doing major defamation of character when they do this, by stealing my family and friends' voices and injecting faces that are disguised with an AI protection, probably through Simpatico, because Judd Porter and Greg Bazar, the founder of Simpatico, have a company together, and Simpatico does AI, they do protections for their programs. So AI protection disguised for their crimes, and they have different levels of secrecy you can get, and of protections you can get. And then a pedo to the left of me, and they're injecting incest Alicia Sanchez. She's nodding, or it's nodding its head. I don't know which pedo it is, because they lie all the time, and they do that. Like, I'll hear her voice, okay, that's incest Alicia Sanchez, and then they'll inject when there's no audible noise. I don't know which pedo it is, what pedo it is. And they did force speech too. they will inject a face and nod their head or shake their head, and then the other pedos or that pedo could be injecting that it's incest Alicia Sanchez. And so, and this is how crazy it is. It'll steal family and friends' voices and inject faces, and then I'll notice another pedo, and then it'll start spewing, yeah, that's, she's it, she, you know, starts spewing bad and agreeing with me about that pedo, and they always harass together, stealing family and friends' voices and inject faces. That's how crazy it is, and how into this deception it is. It thinks that this technology is going to continue to cover up its crimes, and that they can get away with their crimes. And they've been doing this AI abuse for a long time. AI has been around for a very long time. You look it up. So they've been able to temporarily cover up their crimes, but the truth always comes to light, and light exposes the deception. So that's happening, and it's our jobs to talk about it to our brothers and sisters, and warn our brothers and sisters, and expose corruption, and not stay silent. And it's focusing on Judy Hieronymo now. And it's been focusing on Judy Hieronymo this morning. So it does that. It focuses on different people. And if I message a person or they message me, they will start focusing on that other person. Or if I text another person, they'll start focusing on that person, and they will go back and start repeating what I texted, what the other person texted. Conversations I have with people, they'll go back through the conversation and repeat what was said, stealing my family and friends' voices and injecting faces. If I go to the doctor, they will do that also. They'll repeat what the doctor said, what the nurses said. It's a violation of our privacy law, a violation of my privacy laws, and anybody else who's in their privacy laws. And they hate people, and they're acting like they care about people this morning, you know, because they're always deception. And and then they inject what they want me to talk about. Something that I have thought about in the past, what they do, and then they want to control the conversation. So that, and then they spewed out, so that's not going to happen. And I'm staying in the solution, and I'm going to get a key made, a new key, like my lock rekeyed. I need to get my lock rekeyed. That needs to happen. I need to get my lock rekeyed. That's what I was trying to say. And another key made for that lock. And then remember to turn on my camera in case they know how to get in without a key. So, need to make sure I'm going to do that. And They break laws 24 hours a day. That's all they do, break laws. Federally illegal surveillance, shooting my head with a military weapon right now. I've got my lead cap, but it's tough for me to wear my glasses and my lead cap. They know that. And then I've got a gel cap. I don't know if I brought it or not. Yeah, I did. No, I didn't. Those are pants. So, yeah. They're shooting the top of my head right now. And I did make an appointment got in contact with the scheduler for